Hi there, it's Tara Bianca with Be Light Transformative Therapy. I always like to reiterate that there are so many different styles of breathing out there now, so many different techniques, so many different modalities. And I'd like to acknowledge that many of these techniques are ancient in their tradition. Some of them are even thousands of years old. And yet we keep rediscovering them and reapplying them in modern ways. And what's really interesting about each of these unique breath techniques is that each one is designed to elicit a very specific physiological and/or emotional response in the body. Over the course of the next several videos, I would like to walk you through some of these breath techniques so that you can experience them in your own body. Let's talk today about what is referred to as coherent breathing. This is a slow, even nasal breathing that devotes the same amount of time to your inhale as to your exhale. Supposedly the optimal timing for this breath rhythm, which can vary depending on your size and a number of other factors, but averages out to about 5.5 seconds for the inhale and 5.5 seconds for the exhale, which comes out to a total of about 5.5 breaths per minute. I find this number of 5.5 seconds really tricky to work with, so I like to round it off to either 5 seconds or 6 seconds when I practice this particular breath technique. And so that you also do not have to worry about trying to count that extra half a second, I decided to create 2 separate videos for you. The first video guides you through this coherent breath practice for 10 minutes in 5-second intervals, which comes out to about 6 breaths per minute. And then the second video guides you through this coherent breath practice for 10 minutes in 6-second intervals, which comes out to about 5 breaths per minute. Why would you want to breathe in this way? Many adults have a respiratory rate averaging 20 breaths per minute or more. It is shown that this frequency of breathing is not only unnecessary, but that it can keep us stuck in this chronic stress response. In creating this slow, even breath rhythm instead, you can create some balance in the autonomic nervous system, reducing the sympathetic response and increasing the parasympathetic response. In general, your inhale more so promotes a sympathetic response, and your exhale more so promotes a parasympathetic response. So in practicing the slow, even breathing, you are training your autonomic nervous system to enter dominance in either direction instead of always staying stuck in that sympathetic stress response that so many of us are stuck in. Furthermore, if you wanted to encourage parasympathetic dominance, you could extend the exhale a little bit longer than the inhale, but I would rather save that for a different video and a different lesson. For the purposes of today, let's focus on a perfectly balanced breath, a balanced autonomic nervous system, improved vagal tone, and improved heart rate variability. This is not a method that requires a ton of technique. There are only a few key points to keep in mind. Number 1 is that your inhale and your exhale are both going to happen through the nose with a closed mouth. Number 2, you want your inhale and your exhale to happen evenly across the 5 to 6 second period, meaning you're not going to take your inhale in one quick second and then hold the breath in for 4 to 5 seconds, and then quickly exhale for 1 second and hold the breath out for 4 to 5 seconds. Your inhale and your exhale should slowly unfold evenly across the entire 5 to 6 second period. And then number 3, you want to make sure that you are initiating your breath by activating your diaphragm. So how do you know? Well, you should be able to either see or feel your belly expanding on the inhale and then deflating on the exhale. Now you can practice this breath technique either seated in an upright posture or lying down on your back. If you're having a hard time activating the diaphragm and getting the belly to expand on the inhale, I would highly recommend that you practice this breath technique lying on your back with your knees bent and your feet firmly planted into the surface beneath you. This will allow the abdominal wall to soften and will make it much easier for you to activate the diaphragm in order to get an expansive belly on the inhale. The links for both of those videos for the coherent breath practice are listed in the description below this video. They're both 10 minutes in length, and you can choose if you would prefer to breathe at a 5 breath per minute rhythm or a 6 breath per minute rhythm. I hope you enjoy.